Where is Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray is here.
You got a long way to go on your license too, don't you?
Yes.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to dive straight into a courtroom moment where the tension spikes almost instantly. You watch the defendant confidently challenge the court's authority, while the judge steadily dismantles that confusion with firm, no-nonsense control. The energy shifts fast as reality hits, and you can feel how fragile the defendant's argument becomes when faced with actual legal structure and authority in real time.
William Glenn on behalf of Mr. Gray, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gray, are you trying to get a driver's license?
Your Honor, I'm here by special appearance.
I knew that was coming. Go ahead.
I don't understand the nature of the case that's here in front of me. I don't understand.
So you don't understand the nature of the case that's here in front of you. You don't understand that you got to have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle on the roads of the state of Michigan. You don't understand any of that stuff.
Your Honor, I don't understand the jurisdiction. I don't understand how I wound up here.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to dive straight into a courtroom moment where the tension spikes almost instantly. You watch the defendant confidently challenge the court's authority, while the judge steadily dismantles that confusion with firm, no-nonsense control. The energy shifts fast as reality hits, and you can feel how fragile the defendant's argument becomes when faced with actual legal structure and authority in real time.
You know, I got a similar case, and this gentleman provided me with a motion the other day, and I'm reading the motion, and I'm reading the case law that he says is supporting the fact that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, that the state can't make you have a driver's license and things like that. And when you read the case law that he gives me, and it's probably going to be, if you did your own motion, it'd probably be the same case law that you would try to cite. It says exactly the opposite of what he is trying to purport.
Okay, so what is the jurisdiction of the court?
Go ahead.
What is the jurisdiction of the court, Your Honor?
You know, if you're saying that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, are you trying to say basic? Let's just talk a little real simple, basic stuff. Are you trying to say that you can just run red lights, you can just speed, you can just do what you want to do on the roads without any repercussions at all?
Your Honor, is this a court of record? I'm sorry, is this a court of record?
Things get even more intense as the defendant questions whether the court is even legitimate, and the judge shuts that down with sharp clarity. This segment shows a clear power clash, where belief runs straight into established law. You can almost feel the frustration building in the room as the back and forth turns sharper, and the stakes start to feel very real.
Court of record?
As far as I checked, it was, Mr. Glenn.
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, so you guys follow a common law.
We follow the state, we follow the statute of the state of Michigan.
You follow a common law, Your Honor.
The 14th Amendment gives the state the right to enforce the police powers of the state. The right of that is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. Part of that right comes, part of that constitutional right says that the state has the authority to regulate the people that are driving on the roads of the state of Michigan, and to say that to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens.
The Sixth Amendment allows me to know the nature of what I'm being charged with, and that's.
I'm gonna tell you. SP 1267-8653, failure to display a valid operator's license. Punishment.
Your Honor, I'm challenging your I'm challenging.
Go ahead.
I'm challenging his jurisdiction, Your Honor. I don't understand the nature of the charges.
The courtroom shifts into a powerful teaching moment as the judge explains constitutional authority with calm but undeniable force. This part shows the transformation from chaos to order, where the court makes it clear that the rules aren't opinions, they're foundations. You can sense how the defendant's position weakens as the legal reality is spelled out clearly.
Record, Your Honor, please have the prosecutor put jurisdiction on the record for, if you could, Your Honor. Just let me know so that since we're in court of record.
Well, if I have a signed complaint here, which I have a signed complaint, then that automatically puts the jurisdiction on the record.
All right, I didn't get a copy of that, and if you have a copy, I'm going to need that to be signed under penalty of perjury, Your Honor. If it's an accusation. And yeah, I would just, if one of the things I request is, if I can just get that accusation with sworn penalty of perjury, that would be great. That's
He got it. We'll give it to him again.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna give it to him again. Something, and don't get me wrong. I respect the fact that you that you want to fight this, but I would say from my experience, you're going about it all the wrong way. And I just ask you that basic question. You don't think that the police or that the state or that the ordinances have a right to stop people from speeding and running traffic stops? Because basically, with your logic that you're trying to purport, then nobody can get stopped for anything.
Your Honor, no one was hurt. There is no injured party, Your Honor. And so upon my of the law, and this is a court of record, and no one was hurt. And so we're following the common law. I understand that a lot of people don't understand how to function here, but since I do, well, then I want to exercise this right.
The defendant pushes harder by formally challenging jurisdiction, and the judge responds by breaking down the difference between understanding a charge and arguing against it. This segment highlights the clash between emotional resistance and legal precision, showing how the courtroom system tightens its grip when someone tries to outtalk structured law.
Pleadings with your clerk.
Pardon me?
Can I file my pleadings with your clerk of court? Your clerk of court.
You gotta file the pleadings as the court rules say you're supposed to file the pleadings. Now, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it like the court rules say. And you gotta go, the court rules are all online on how you file the pleadings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You gotta serve one to the city attorney. You can serve the other one on the court through my clerk and the email address that she's gonna send you when she sends you those tickets. But if we're gonna play ball, sir, you're gonna have to know the rules of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Because you're gonna give me your motion. You're gonna give me your motion on how the court has no jurisdiction over you. You're gonna give me your motion on how how all of this stuff, right? And have that in by the end of the day on April.
Your Honor, what I don't think that is my job to prove jurisdiction.
It is your job. It is your job.
It's the assertor's job to prove that whoever's asserting the claim, it's their job, Your Honor.
No, it's your job, sir. You're saying that the court has no jurisdiction over you.
No. What I'm saying is that the court has to prove jurisdiction. That's what I'm saying. That's different. So, and what I'm saying is that the court needs to prove jurisdiction. Whoever asserted the claim has to prove the jurisdiction.
The tension spikes as the defendant argues that no one was harmed and therefore no crime exists. This part perfectly captures the emotional disconnect between personal logic and legal responsibility. You can almost see the frustration on both sides as the court tries to explain that public safety laws don't depend on visible victims.
Mr. Goss, are you on the line?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so, he's gonna say that you have to prove jurisdiction.
And the jurisdiction is codified in the state of Michigan. So if he's arguing otherwise, that's his beliefs. And at trial, I will be stating the facts of the complaint. And there's, it's his assertions does not mean that they're correct, Your Honor.
Right.
Do I have the right to know the charges that are waged against me?
The judge already gave you the
What's
charges.
The charges that are waged against you. This is arraignment. Let's go through
Nature
that
and
right now. Let's go
Nature
through
and
that right now so we don't get this, so we don't hear this issue.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that right now.
The judge takes absolute control and lays out strict procedural rules, giving the defendant a hard deadline and setting the courtroom back into structured order. This segment shows the turning point where the court shifts from debate to command, and the tone changes from argumentative chaos to unavoidable legal process.
Can you put your appearance on the record now, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. William Glenn, House Counsel on behalf of Mr. Gray, or standby attorney on behalf of Mr. Gray.
All right. What about the warrant, sir? What are we gonna do with that?
Any of
Your
the
Honor, we would
tickets
ask that the court set aside the warrants.
The court will set aside the warrant. The court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, and the court will issue a $0 personal.
I object.
The dispute hits a peak as the defendant insists the court prove jurisdiction while the judge and attorney firmly push back. This part shows the reality of burden of proof crashing into false confidence, and you can feel the moment where the defendant's strategy starts to collapse under real legal standards and courtroom pressure.
For what?
I don't have enough information to enter a plea. And that's one of my abilities is for me to know and me to understand and be able to make an informed plea. And I need more
We stand
information.
mute, Your Honor.
Plea for me, and I don't understand. So right now, I object, Your Honor.
Okay, my client stands mute to the charges. That means he doesn't say guilty or not guilty.
All right. Well,
And I'll plead innocent.
The courtroom energy shifts when the full list of charges is officially read out. This segment raises the stakes dramatically, turning the situation from abstract arguments into real consequences. You can feel the gravity sink in as the defendant is confronted with how serious and stacked the allegations actually are.